Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. You all really enjoyed my best of series. So in this video, we're going to be discussing another truly iconic drugstore makeup brand. So if you want to see what I think is truly the best of what Maybelline has to offer, then keep watching. Now, before I get into this video, it wouldn't be right if I didn't tell you that these are, of course, my personal opinions. And at this point, I have actually physically tried every single product that Maybelline has to offer. Everything that's on the shelves, everything that's online, I have tried, tested. So these in this video are truly what I think are the best of what the brand has to offer. So if you want my opinion, and if you want to see these products in action, then you're in luck because we're going to do a full face of Maybelline. All right, first things first, let's get this hair out of the way and let's dive into a full face of an iconic drugstore brand. I mean, you can't think of drugstore makeup without thinking of Maybelline, L'Oreal, even NYX, and at this point, e.l.f. Cosmetics as well, in my opinion. But when I think about like the best of the best that drugstore has to offer, the highest quality, best and most, luxury type formulations that are on the market, L'Oreal and Maybelline are just those girls. They just are. And it's just hard to deny it. You can't deny it, really. But when I also think of like Maybelline products and when I think of like their best categories of products, anything that is named Lifter, Superstay, or Fit Me is gonna be a great product for you. Trust me, I have so many from those categories and I cannot wait to share them and put them on my face. So without further ado, we're gonna prime our skin first with a product that stole my heart very recently. And I say recently, but really in the last 3-4 months since it's been available. This is the Maybelline Grippy Serum Primer. The reason why I like this, and I've talked about this many times, so if you've not caught why I like this primer, you might be wondering, well, Nikki, you never talk about primers. You say that you don't need primers, and you don't. You don't. And you especially don't need just any primer on the market. You need a good primer if you're going to use one. If you're going to use one, let it be one that doesn't feel icky and sticky and gross on your skin. Now, this one will leave you with a tackiness, but not a goopy, filmy, thick, terrible feeling on your skin. So the Maybelline Grippy Serum is going to give you hydration. It's going to give you some grip. It does have 2% niacinamide in it, so just something to call out in case you are allergic to it or sensitive to it. Now, less is more. Less is more with all primers. You don't need to put this all over your face. I mean, you really don't. I highly encourage you to focus on your skin care. That's going to do the best priming that you could ever ask for. But in times where you want that extra grip, let's say you have an Aldi event. Let's say you're going to a wedding. Let's say you are in the wedding. Let's say you're the bride. Those are the times and the scenarios, or like, let's say it's the dead of summer, it's super hot outside. Those are the times and the places that I always suggest if you're going to use a primer, let it be in those situations because that's when they're going to benefit you the most. But for everyday use, I'm just going to go back and remind you, my thoughts have not changed. For everyday use, you don't need a primer. But this one is quite killer. It's amazing. The reason why I like it is because it feels like I'm putting a serum on my skin that dries down and absorbs really quickly. So even if you have oily skin like myself, I am a very oily girl over here. Like I have quite the oily skin. Combine that with wearing sunscreen, hydrating toners to nourish my skin. And I always want to make sure I take care of my skin first and foremost. And if that means my skin's going to be shinier throughout the day as I'm wearing my makeup, then so be it, because my number one priority is always going to be my skin underneath my makeup. Because remember, your makeup is only going to look as good as the skin that it's sitting on top of. So if you're dehydrated, if you haven't exfoliated in months, if you've never exfoliated, if you've never shaved your face, all these things are going to play a role in how your makeup looks and sits on your skin. But I digress. Clearly, this is one of the best primers at the drugstore, if not one of the best ones I've ever tried at the drugstore, because it feels like a nice hydrating serum on your skin and not like a primer. So what you're left with is going to be a very light tackiness, like a very, very light grip, basically. It's not sticky. There's like a grip to it. So if you need more longevity, put this on prior to your foundation. Even if you're oily, it's going to give you a nice hydrating feel, but it's going to give you that grip that all skin types can benefit from, not just dry, not just oily. So really good for all skin, which is why it's in this video. I recommend it to everyone out there who's asking me for a drugstore primer recommendation. That right there is my number one because it's universally going to be good for anyone. All right, now as you can see, my brows are looking very thin, very 90s. No, I never plucked my eyebrows. I was just not born with eyebrows, so lucky me with that. I don't get it. My mom has brows, my dad had brows, but I was just born without them. So me and my sister. So let's tackle brows next because I want to get my brows and my face nice and framed for the rest of the makeup to go on top. Now I want to talk about Maybelline's brow products that they have to offer. There are not that many brow pencils that they have to offer, but the products that they do have are really, really great. Now, if you have not heard me talk about the Maybelline Build a Brow in your life, then you have not watched enough of my videos, okay? Because I have loved these for a long, long time. These are incredible brow pens. These are like a micro brow pen, so you can literally, physically draw on hair-like strokes. Let me show you what this does. Little, delicate, hair-like strokes. And if that doesn't impress you, I don't know what will. This is going to be just as good, if not better, than any of the higher end ones that are on the market that cost a lot more money. For example, Glossier, even like Anastasia Beverly Hills, although that one is great, it's just a lot more pricey than this one. This is amazing high quality performance formula that's at the drugstore, and I cannot get enough of these. I love these so much that I put all the colors that are available in my professional makeup kit. Now, this product actually booted out my original drugstore favorite that I had in my kit for years, the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Pen. It's the same concept, same type of formula, except that one is a little bit more messy. This one is not. And this one does have the added bonus of a clear brow gel on the other end. This is a brand new one, so let me open this bad boy up. Now, this is not going to give you the strongest hold. This is not going to give you like budge-proof, hurricane-proof hold. Even if you jump in a pool, this is not going to laminate your brows to that extent. But it will groom them and it will give them a nice light amount of hold. It's just not going to be your ultimate budge-proof brow product to lock your brows in and to get a laminate effect. But it is nice. It's definitely usable. It's definitely useful to have it at that end. And I like how small that spoolie is because you can really get in there and coat your brow hairs and to really groom them up into place. Just know the hold is not quite as strong as the next product I'm about to share with you. The next product is like a holy grail at this point and so well done. This is probably one of the best products that Maybelline has ever launched for brows. I'm hooked on this product. This is the Maybelline Super Lock Brow Gel. They have a clear one that I've loved for a while now, and they just came out with the tinted version, and I can't even tell you, I am absolutely hooked on this product. This is one of the best tinted brow gels that laminates your brows, gives you an all-day hold, gives you a fuller looking brow, and will literally laminate your brows all while tinting them. So if you ever just want to skip brow pencils, brow pomades, brow powders, you can really do so with this product. It is that good. Now, I'm shocked to say this too, but this has replaced my daily use of my e.l.f. Wow Brow. I don't know if it's going to replace it forever. That one's definitely a different formula. This one's more wet and it feels a little less fibery as the e.l.f. Wow Brow. So if you want to stick to a fiber-based brow product, then you'd want to keep that e.l.f. Wow Brow. They're different, but I had to call out that this has quickly become my daily go-to. And I want to put this on my face in just a second. But before I do, if you just need a super strong lock into place, laminate your brows, and groom them and keep them in place all day long clear brow gel, this is the one to get. We love it. I use it all the time. But if you want to tint, this is the one to get. Now, before I tint, I'm going to show you another Maybelline product that you should not sleep on because this brow pencil is micro thin, long lasting, easy to use, and really great if you need to actually physically draw on a brow from scratch. This is the Maybelline Express Brow. I have the shade dark brown, and I'm going to show you how small this little micro pencil is. Probably one of the best, if not the best, micro brow pencils at the drugstore. I love NYX. I use that pencil all the time. This one's just a little bit more pigmented in my opinion, and it goes on a little bit easier, whereas the NYX one, I feel like I do have to kind of go over the areas a few times to get the amount of pigment that I want. This one's like instant, so just to call out. So let's get these brows in a better place. I'm going to start up top and then a bit on the bottom, just trying to get the shape nice and more cleaned up, more structured. So right now my brows are pretty much all over the place. You could see I'm actually applying very minimal pressure and it just sticks right away. Very, very, very easy to use and really, again, ideal. Even if you have full brows and you just need to fill in a couple little sparse areas, this is a really great pencil to get. And Maybelline just absolutely crushed it with this formula. It's so good. So same thing, I'm just going to frame the brows a bit more, just like that. I could stop right here and just pop a little bit of the clear brow gel on top, but I want to show you what the tinted one looks like because it's absolutely epic. Like, I have literally done a brow from scratch with just this product, and it looks like I filled it in with multiple products. This gives you the look of multiple products all in one. So this is what it looks like. It is a bit more wet. There are fibers in it. You can see them kind of hanging off the tip of the wand. The fibers, what they're going to do is they're going to attach to your brow hair and give them an instantly more thick, fuller look while looking really natural and less like drawn in. So if that sounds like something you want, if you have really fine brow hair like I do, then this is absolutely the product that you want to get. So I like to brush straight up into my brows, and then I'll take the tip of the wand where it has more color and more product built up. I'll brush this into the tail to get a really nice full look to my brows. Look at that. I want to call it also, these are virtually budge proof. These last so well in your brows. So if it's hot outside, if you're sweating, if you have oily skin, and if you have lack of brows, your brows are going to be just absolutely staying in place. One of the best long wear brow pencils and brow tinted gels on the market. Like, it quite literally is super lock. Like, they call it super lock for a reason. Like, it actually delivers a super lock effect. Brushing up into the tail. We're going to let this dry down a bit, and then we're going to do a few extra individual brow hairs with the Maybelline Build-A-Brow. And again, it's just like one of the best products ever. And while this is drying down, I want to call out an honorable mention that I used to use previously before this product came into my life. And it kind of goes to show you how far their brow products have gone and how far drugstore brow products have gone just in the last couple years. This was a really good product. Really, really great product. Works really, really well. However, it just doesn't hold up compared to this one. This one is just so stellar. It's like the one to get. But this one is a nice honorable mention. It goes with the same brow pencil we just used. It's the Brow Express Tinted Brow Gel. So same idea as this one, except it doesn't give you as much hold. And this one is, in my opinion, just a little bit more messy to use. The wand is going to look similar. Small, you can tint, you can brush in. It gives you some hold, but just not the same kind of hold as the Super Lock. So honorable mention, still a good product, but this is my absolute favorite and what I think is the best from Maybelline. All right, my friends, now that my brows have dried down and they have locked into place, we're gonna do a couple individual brow hairs just so I can show you what this does in my brows in real time. I go between two different shades, black brown or dark brown. It's up to you how intense you want to be. When I'm using a product that's specifically designed to draw on individual brow hairs and not necessarily fill them in, I like to go for a darker color. But if I was telling you to buy a pencil, I would say go about 1 to 1.5 shades lighter, even 2 at the max lighter than your natural hair color, because it's going to look a lot softer and a little less harsh on your skin. But when you're drawing on actual individual brow hairs, you actually want them to stand up and you want them to stand out, because that's going to give you that 3D quality. I hope that makes sense. So using dark brown, I'm going to rest my pinky on my cheek, because with this product, you want to go slow and you need to have stability. Now, I've used these products to quite literally make a brow from scratch on people that don't have, more than a couple hairs on each side. And it gives you the most natural look. It's just such a great product. Now, a little trick I want to call out: if you have really oily skin, it's a good idea to pre-powder your brows before you apply this kind of product so it actually sticks and adheres. Right now, it's doing a great job of gripping onto the previous products, but just know that if you're just using this and you have oily skin or skincare on, if you run a small coat of translucent powder into your brows, this will give you the maximum amount of results and it will give this a chance to grip. But that is the Maybelline Build-A-Brow, one of the best products for your brows at the drugstore. This is a holy grail and what I think is one of the best products that Maybelline has launched in recent years. Okay, so we have some brows on. We're feeling much better. Now we need to talk about something super important, something that I personally am a huge fan of when it comes to Maybelline products, and that is their foundations. Their foundations are epic. Now, before I apply what I think are the best that Maybelline has to offer for their foundations, it wouldn't be right if I didn't mention 2 really great honorable products. Like, these products have been around forever. They've been around a little bit longer than the ones I'm about to put on my face, and they're tried and true. I forget how good these are until I put them back on. I realize they are such a great drugstore formulation, and they have 2 different kinds for 2 different skin types. Both belong to the Maybelline Fit Me collection. So like I mentioned earlier, if there's ever a category to look for, it's the Fit Me products, the Lifter products, and the Super Stay. So these belong in the Fit Me category. There's the Fit Me Dewy and Smooth and the Fit Me Matte and Poreless. Both are going to be amazing. One's going to be great for dry or dry combo skin. One's going to be epic for oily skin types. Let's shake these bad boys up first. I have not used these in a hot minute, but the shades that I have might be a little off. For this one, I'm going to be putting on 128 Warm Nude and pouring a bit onto my hand. And let me show you what this looks like on one cheek. The coverage on this is going to be medium to buildable. You could definitely get a full coverage with this if you just layer another round of it. But you can also share it out. You can also just do a small amount of it, blend it all out, and it's going to give you a really soft, natural appearance. This one's going to be great if you want a affordable, more hydrating, more dewy look to your drugstore foundation. That's also, bonus, incredibly long lasting. These are all meant to be very long wearing. This does have SPF 18 in it, which make sure you're wearing your sunscreen underneath, because 18 is not enough to cover you and to make sure you're protected from the sun, but look how pretty that is. It's glowy, beautiful coverage. The color actually looks great. I forgot how good this color match is for me. But it's a soft, beautiful amount of coverage. It looks and feels really, really nice. Really hydrating on the skin. So if you do have dry skin, this is going to be a really great option, and absolutely one that I had to call out because it's a really great honorable mention. Not my personal favorite, but a solid formula. Now onto the one that spoke to me the most and that I liked the most on my skin. Oopsie, poured a little too much out. This is the Maybelline Matte and Poreless. So going to be just like it says, great for oily skin. Great if you have larger pores, great if you have any skin texture, great if you want all those things in a really, really affordable drugstore formula. This is actually the same shade as the previous one, so it's 128, and this is gonna give you, once it dries down, a really beautiful matte finish that doesn't feel like heavy and cake makeup-y on your oily skin. It's just gonna look really beautiful, be very long wearing, and really nice and smooth in any areas you have more larger pores or any skin texture. This is going to be really flawless on your skin. It's perfect. Just gorge. All right, now let's get into the goods. These are my two holy grails. This one is always going to be my ride or die and always going to be my favorite. This is the newest one, the newest reformulation of the Maybelline Superstay Up to 30 Hour Wear Foundation. I wear the shade 120 in this one, and I wear the shade 220 in this one. This one's going to look a little bit deeper, so I do generally grab this the most in the summertime, to be quite honest with you. And there's a reason for that as well. This is so long wearing, it does not move off your skin. So both are going to be awesome, both equally amazing. Both are holy grails for me. This one just slightly inches out this one because it is so long wearing, and the feeling of this in particular is like no other. This feels like a skin tint, truly breathable, lightweight, but buildable while giving you great coverage and incredible longevity. There's really not much else you could ask for when it comes to a drugstore foundation. This delivers so much and gives you such a luxury look to your skin. Like Charlotte Tilbury, who, if you have this, like forget about it. This looks like Armani, Dior, Charlotte Tilbury wrapped up in one. So I want to put this on my face to show you how magical it is in case you have not seen previous videos of it. But just know that this one is absolutely gorgeous as well. And if you have not seen me apply this yet, I'd be surprised. So if that's you, let's just shake this bad boy up. Let's put this on. Let me show you what this looks like on, in case you were wondering. Now, the difference between this one is this is going to be actually a foundation, like a true to form foundation. But the way this one dries down is to a loomy matte finish. Now, I questioned that so much, and then I realized what loomy meant. Loomy just means it doesn't dry down to be a flat, matte look to your skin. There's actually some luminous particles in this foundation. So once it dries down, yes, the feeling and the texture will be matte, like dry to the touch. Also very transfer resistant. So if you're looking for something like that, this is one to get. But what you're left with also is a luminous look to your skin. There's a luminous shift that happens depending on like the light that's hitting you, depending on like how you're looking at it. It's not going to look flat and one-dimensional. This is going to have some really beautiful dimension to it. So a little confusing on the marketing. I can totally understand that because I was confused when I first read it. I was like, what's a loomy matte? And then you realize it's that it's going to dry down. It's going to feel matte on your skin, but it's not going to look matte. It's going to look like it's got some glow and some skin-like qualities to it. It's not going to look like a flat foundation, which I just think is amazing. I think they just absolutely nailed this foundation. It is just that good. I recommend it for all skin types, but I will say you're going to want to make sure you're prepping your skin according to your skin. So make sure you got your skin prep down. If you are dry, do not skip your skin prep because this will feel drier on your skin because it dries down. If you're oily, it's going to be your best friend. It's going to be your best friend, especially for summer. And if you're normal, prep your skin as usual, put your favorite SPF underneath it, and you're going to be good to go. Now, another thing I want to call out is you do want to work pretty quickly with this formulation because it does dry down. It's meant to dry down, and it's meant to basically self-set on your skin. And what you're left with is that glow. And it's budge proof, and it's pretty much transfer resistant. You can always lock it down with more powder, but on its own, it will dry down to be perfect. So that is why I think this is one of the best products from Maybelline. Let me know in the comments if you agree and if you've tried this formula. Okay, we're going to reapply a bit of that primer just to even me back out. Is it necessary? No, but I want my skin to be evenly prepped at least. So super grippy serum is back on, back in business. Let's shake up this formula and let me show you how magical this looks on my skin. All right, the OG, the classic, the one to get. If there's ever just one Maybelline foundation to get, it is the Maybelline Superstay. Let me show you what the 24-hour skin tint looks like in the shade 220. Now you can see, look at that luminous look to it. It almost looks like it's got like it has like shimmery particles and glow in it, but on your skin, don't let this fool you. Don't be afraid of this shimmer. It doesn't look like glitters on your skin. It just looks like you have the most stunning, luxurious glow. Now the dropper can be a little bit messy. It's the only complaint I would have about this foundation. If I had to have a complaint, that would be it, but nothing's gonna stop me from using this. It's that good. Clean N17 brush. Apply this all over. The way this blends into your skin is like butter. Good for all skin types, like I mentioned. So if there's ever one that I recommend, it's this one, because I truly believe that everyone can use this one and make it work for their skin. And specifically, if you want something that is lightweight feeling, stays put on your skin and lasts all day, this is what you want to get. So if you're looking for those things in particular, this will far exceed your expectations of what a skin tint that's a medium buildable coverage at the drugstore can do. Like quite literally, if you told me I was putting La Mer on my skin right now, like the foundation, I'd be yeah, that looks like a $200 foundation on my skin. Now the shade 220, it's gonna look a little bit deeper. However, it's gonna match me. It's going to give me a cohesive head to toe look, which is what I'm always striving to do on my channel, is even me out, because my face is a lot fairer due to wearing hats and lots of sunscreen. So this is going to even me out. Now, if there's one foundation that I would say you don't need to worry about if you get it on your eyelids, if you want to put this on your eyelids, the fact that it's so thin and it's so long wearing and budge proof, you can actually put this on your eyelids even if you have oily eyelids like myself, and it will dry down. And you can still put your eyeshadows on top without it creasing. Normally I would not suggest someone do this because the chances of it creasing your eyes is, like your eyeshadow is chances are pretty high. This one will not. So if you need more coverage than the initial medium that it gives you, you can easily layer this one up. It layers so beautifully and so well without looking heavy or cakey. But look at that radiance. Tell me this doesn't look like an Armani Luminous Silk or a Dior Forever Glow foundation or Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter mixed with a foundation. Like this looks like that. This gives that high-end luxury look without the price. Stunning, absolutely stunning. There's no way you won't like this foundation. I'd be shocked. I'm gonna blend this all over, and then I want to show you one more favorite from Maybelline. It's gonna give you actually a very similar look to this, except it's not gonna be as long wearing at all. It's not gonna be as full coverage. Think about this one more as the kind of product and the kind of way you would use the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, like I just mentioned, or the e.l.f. Halo Glow. This is gonna be Maybelline's version of that kind of product, and I would like you to treat it like that. So if you pick it up, keep that in mind. This product is going to look beautiful underneath for like a glow from within, allowing you to use a lot less foundation when you put it on top, because this will give you some element of coverage, or on top for an additional glow. So let me show you what this looks like for an additional glow. The shade that I have is 1.5 medium. I wish I had a lighter one just so I can highlight with it. It's got a clicking sponge applicator, so twist it up. It's going to come to the top like that, and then you want to use this in any areas that you want extra glow. So for me, I'm just going to do the top of my forehead. I'm going to do a bit on top of my cheek, but when you're using this, I feel like the best way to use it is underneath for like that glow from within, in an underpainting type of fashion, or gain a deeper shade and using that as your glowy bronzer. It's really gorgeous if you utilize it in that way as well. But lays beautiful on the skin. Feels amazing, great for dry skin, but also oily people can use it as well, just if you're wanting that additional glow. But look how easy that blends in, and it just gives a really soft radiance. I think this is gonna be a really great product for anyone who has mature skin, looking for additional glow without it looking glittery or over the top like highlightery, or like you just have something that's too makeup-y on your skin. It's just very soft, very easy to work with, very user-friendly. All right, now that we have that on, I wanna talk about concealers, okay? There are many concealers from Maybelline. There is one in particular that will always have my heart, and that's the one I want to put on and show you today, but I want to just give you one more honorable mention that I think is really worth checking out. Maybelline has the Fit Me concealer. It's nice. It's not my favorite. It's not like what I think is the best concealer out there. It is very nice, but I actually think that this one is better. It's the Maybelline Superstay Active Wear up to 30-hour wear concealer. I'm wondering if this is going to get discontinued soon, like the original formulation of this product in the foundation did. That one went bye-bye very recently. It wasn't my favorite, but this one actually is a really great concealer, so I'm wondering if they're going to get rid of this as well. If you can get it while you can, and you're looking for a thin texture, long-wearing concealer that moves really well with you, this is a good one to check out. Let me show you what this looks like. In fact, I'll just do this on one side. So very thin consistency. very, very thin, which is really nice if you just want something that's lightweight under your eyes and doesn't feel too heavy. Consistency is very hydrating feeling while being long wearing. So once this dries down, once this is blended into your skin, and once you set it with some powder, I still recommend setting with some powder, even though it is long wearing and up to 30 hours. Once you do that, this still feels really lightweight on your skin. So very breathable, very mature skin, under eye friendly, as long as you hydrate prior. So I'm gonna tap this in with my N14 brush. And this is a nice brightening shade on me. This is the shade 10. Just want to show you what this looks like. Now the coverage is not super thick. It's actually really soft and natural, so it's not gonna feel heavy under your eyes. And like I mentioned 1,000 times, it's just really thin, lightweight, and really good for all day wear and good for all under eye types. So even mature under eye friendly, in my opinion, if you prep your under eyes well, this one is going to be a really nice option for you. But my two favorites, the goats. These are the goats, absolutely. And if you don't know what that means, it's the greatest of all time. So if you ever see a goat out there on the internet, that is what it stands for. These are, insert walking on the screen. This is the absolute best of the best from Maybelline. These are the Instant Age Rewind Eraser concealers. I have a color corrector here that I'm going to show you what this looks like on. And then the actual concealer shade that I use is the shade 115. If you've never in your life tried this concealer, I'd be shocked, and I feel like you're missing out, because this is one of the best and most iconic concealers at the drugstore. Like, period. Hard stop, mic drop. These are them. So I love the shade Pink Rose. It's shade 160. These have that classic clicker sponge applicator, and I know a lot of makeup artists who actually have used this in their kit, but what they do is they rip the sponge off, they squeeze this out onto a painter's palette, and that's how you can easily use this on clients, multiple clients, in a sanitary way. So that's how good the formula is. Makeup artists are using this in their kit. Like, that says a lot. So don't sleep on this formula. Let's do some color correcting first. I'm gonna pop some right here. And actually, I'm gonna go over this area and this side with a bit of this as well, because I'm seeing some of that gray of my under eyes popping out, and I should put this on first. So excellent, excellent shade if you need to color correct and you're my skin tone or a little bit lighter or a little bit deeper. They do make other color correcting tones as well, but this one is just perfect. Same thing, I'm gonna tap this Maybelline Age Rewind Classic under my eyes. This is so mature skin friendly, it's not even funny, but even if you don't have mature skin and mature under eyes, if you just want something that feels very, very thin and lightweight, very breathable under your eyes and not heavy, this is absolutely what you have to get. Look how it just melts into my under eyes. Instantly neutralizes my dark under eye circles that I have because it is that pink shade. And I could just stop right here. I could just walk out the door without putting any additional concealer on top. I am going to put a little bit of concealer just to show you what it looks like, but it's amazing how thin and natural this formulation is. So like I mentioned, great for dry skin, great for mature skin, mature dry skin, oily skin, doesn't matter. If you're using this concealer, you're going to absolutely love it. It's just that good. Now, fun fact, this is actually one of the first concealers I tried from the drugstore when I was in my early adulthood, and it was pricey for me to buy. I did not have a extra dollar to my name when I was in my early 20s, and this one was just so worth it. I remember thinking, oh, Maybelline's pretty expensive. Like, for the drugstore, it felt really expensive at the time, as does all makeup nowadays, but it was just so worth it for me to get it because it was the only thing that really did a good job of just looking healthy under my eyes, giving me coverage, and it was really easy for me to use it at the time. I just loved everything about it. So now I'm going to cocktail the shade 115 in the same formulation on top. Oh, and I used to use this too to prime my eyelids back in the day. So before my eyeshadow went on top, that's how long I've been using concealers to prime my eyelids and how long I've been using that technique, since my early 20s. So going on 15, 20 years at this point. So I'm going to get all the areas I normally conceal just brightened and concealed even more. Personally, I love the sponge. I think it's just so easy to use. I understand if you feel like it gets dirty or gross after a while. I don't mind it. I don't feel like it gets gross. I like the sponge. I think it just goes on so well and so easy. So we're going to use this shade as well to highlight certain areas, especially because that foundation is a touch on the tan side. This is going to help bring some balance to my complexion. So I'm going to do some lifting and highlighting with this bad boy. Now let's go back to old school Nikki days and let's actually use this on the eyelid, because why not? Okay, back to the N14. Just gonna apply this all over. We are gonna do an eyeshadow look. It's gonna be a pretty simple eye makeup look. And just a spoiler alert, Maybelline has some of my favorite drugstore eyeliners, so it's gonna be very eyeliner focused, okay? But until then, let's blend away. I mean, how easy is that? It's just so good. Bonus points for sitting so well on top of that Super Stay Foundation skin tint. It just looks amazing. All right, next up, we need to bring some balance and some color and some life back to our complexion. We're all one-dimensional. We have some highlight going on, but just check out that glow again. I cannot get over the glow. Before we powder our skin, we need to do one more cream product. Now, this is actually a really great product. However, I don't have a great color in it, so I just want to forewarn you. It's going to look very warm on my complexion. But formulation-wise, I do want to show you because I think the formula is really, really great. This is the newer product from Maybelline. It's the Maybelline Lifter Stix. So these are supposed to be a multi-use. They're marketed as a multi-use. You can either use them as foundation, as highlight, as contour, as bronzer. I'm going to be using this shade in particular. This is a shade 70 for my bronzer. And now they tell you to do this online. It's not like I'm just grabbing someone's deeper skin tone and using this to bronze my complexion. They are marketing this product as universal. So more like multi-purpose, either complexion, highlight, contour, just like I mentioned. So let's apply this on, and formulation-wise, like I mentioned, is the reason why this is in this video. It's so creamy. It's so blendable. It's so easy. It gives me like Rare Beauty on a budget vibes, even though this is very affordable. It gives me that same kind of texture, and it reminds me so much of the same texture as that Rare Beauty cream bronzer, but at the drugstore. Very pigmented as well, so I do feel like be careful when you're using this, especially to contour. Less is a little bit more. They're very like high pigment, high impact, but incredibly, incredibly easy to blend on your skin, and they just look fantastic. So I'm gonna apply this and blend this out. A holy grail for blending out any kind of contour or cream bronzer. And you'll see how easy this just melts into my skin. And it actually does give coverage. So if you're looking for something specifically like a bronzer or a contour product that's going to give you some additional coverage, if you're looking for that, this is the kind of formulation that you would want to use on your skin cream-wise, because it doesn't sheer out. It leaves you with even more coverage and even more of like a flawless look to your skin. So I love this product. I just need to get a better shade, which is why you don't see me use it very often, because the shade is just a little on the warm side. But look how beautiful that blends in. It's like buttery perfection. I'm curious also to get this in my actual skin tone to use as a foundation as well. So if you've tried this as a foundation and you have thoughts, I would love to hear them, but just know I'll pick that up very soon to check out. So I'm gonna blend and sculpt with this bad boy, and you're gonna really see my makeup look come to life. Now, something I want to call out, these do only have 18 shades available. So if you are looking to use this as your foundation, you are gonna be a little bit more limited. Whereas like the Super Stay Lumi Matte Foundation, this has 24 shades. And the OGs, these have up to 40 shades available. So a little bit bigger variety, obviously. Switching to my N16 brush, I'm gonna blend out the nose sculpting, but look how flawless that looks. I mean, it's just so good. I'm gonna go in with one more pass of the bronzer because I do not have a powder bronzer from Maybelline that I like and enjoy. So we'll be layering one more round just to intensify the bronze and just to give me the effect that I'm going for. So just layering one more round of this. And you'll see it layers really, really nice. If you're looking for more high impact and more color intensity, just build it up. Perfection. I love my base makeup so much, and we're not even done. All right, guess what? Now we need to talk about powders. We're done with the liquids. We're done with the creams. We need to talk about powders. And if there's one drugstore powder, like actual loose setting powder that locks your makeup in through thick and thin. I slept on this powder for a really long time. You guys were all knocking on my door telling me to try it. And when I finally tried it, I talk about this all the time, but you guys were so right. This has become a holy grail powder, not just from the drugstore. Like, I want to be very specific. This is a holy grail powder in life in general. So going across all brands, all different price ranges, doesn't matter. Like, this is just one of the best loose setting powders I've ever tried. The Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. I have shade 1 and I have shade 05. 05 is going to be more brightening, and I want to use this to brighten my under eyes and to lock those bad boys into place. This is also going to be a really great powder if you have more combination oily skin or very, very oily skin or more oily textured skin. So if you have larger pores, this has a really great quality to it where it's a thicker powder. It's not like one of those really thin micro powders that just dissolve in the wind and like they become like dust in the air. It's not like that. Those are actually powders that I don't really prefer. I like my powder to have some thickness to it. I want some like I want it to be substantial. I want there to be some grip and some thickness in the formula. I don't want it to be airy. I really don't. This is my kind of powder, and powders like this specifically that have more thickness to it, that have more of like a chunkier quality to them, these are going to be the ones that fill pores. These are going to be the ones that give you the most flawless airbrush look to your skin, because they'll actually act like a pore filling type product. They're going to smooth any grooves. They're going to really blur any imperfections or larger pores. And if you have that oily skin, this is going to keep you shine free so much longer than one of those airy, dust all over, don't feel it throughout the day powders. No. This is what you want to get. So I could quite clearly go on and on forever and ever about this powder. It is just that good. But let me actually put this on. So I'm going to grab a clean N14 brush. I like to dip into the pan, and then you could either sift it into this little cheese grater thing to take off the excess like that. Or my thing I like to do is just run this into the palm of my hand, not the top, the palm, to warm it up. I see a lot of people do this, and I don't understand the top of the hand. It's supposed to be the palm. This is what's going to give you the warmth and melt the powder into the brush, therefore into your skin. So grab the powder before you set. If you talk a lot, wipe out any creases that might have happened. There is very minimal. And you're just going to lock this in and press this under your eyes. You can either go for a full-on bake with this, you can go for a full glam moment, or you could go really soft and really natural with this powder. It actually is very versatile. You just have to know the level of product to use for your skin type. So if you do have dry skin, you could still use this powder. You can definitely still make this work. Skin prep and less is more is what you're going to want to keep in mind if you're using a thicker powder like this. It's going to be primarily better for like more oily skin, but it will give you a flawless look to your skin, absolutely. And for oily skin, you're gonna wanna use a little bit more. You're gonna wanna layer a few rounds of this. Light layers are always gonna be key to keeping it looking natural and softer. But if you're going for that full glam moment and you wanna bake with it, it's gonna be your baking best friend. I actually baked with this in my Bride on a Budget tutorial where I use this product to set my under eyes and to lock in, and also to highlight the T-zone of my skin. So if you missed that video, it's up, and I think it's really helpful. So see how 05 just brightened my complexion? The 01 is great as well. I have it here. So see how the 5 is nice and bright? It just gives me a really beautiful brightening look to my under eyes. The number 10 is gonna be a little bit deeper and gonna melt more naturally into the rest of my skin. So I think both are really handy to have on hand if you're my complexion, a little bit lighter or a little bit deeper based on what look you're going for. But the 5 is so brightening and so gorgeous. We're gonna run this on the base of my eyelids as well, just like that. Get my eyes totally prepped for the eyeshadow, and I'm really excited to bring back an oldie but goodie, a really old favorite of mine from Maybelline. So that is the Maybelline Fit Me Powder in the shade 05. It is a perfect setting powder for all day wear to lock in your makeup, and it is just a holy grail at the drugstore. Just such a great formulation. It's perfect. I mean, it just is. I have no complaints about this powder. Now, I do want to call out two very honorable mentions. One, I don't use often because I don't use powder foundations often. However, I have given this many tries. It is good in small doses, and it's actually just really, in general, a good formulation, like a really well-formulated powder if you use it in the right areas, okay? You're going to want to stay away from this powder under your eyes. It's going to look very cakey and very thick. Powder foundations are not meant to be worn under the eyes. Same reason why I wouldn't recommend a cream, like thick stick concealer under the eyes. It's just too thick of a product, and typically speaking, our under eyes can't handle that. So same thing with this powder foundation. If you use it more for like pore refinement and more as like a finishing powder, it's actually stunning. And I'll definitely use this in other videos to come so you can get an idea of what this looks like on. For now, I'm gonna do a light dusting just to show you how you can make this work even on top of a full glam moment. I'm gonna take the back side of my N17. This is a slightly fluffier brush, longer fibers. So what this is gonna do, it's not gonna deposit a dense amount of this product, which is what you would want. So if you want this powder foundation to look more natural, sweep it on with a more fluffy brush that's not densely packed, because it will give you a natural effect. But I would really love for you to just try this as a finishing powder. Kind of like how you would use the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush powder. That's how I would use this powder, and just avoid the under eyes because it will look very heavy and very cakey there. But honorable mention, it is a really well done powder that I had to call out because it is very long wearing and just really pore smoothing and beautiful on if you use it right. Another one that I want to call out too that I've been testing for a while now, this is a lot more matte and a lot better for like all day wear, and really good for like sweat resisting your makeup. So a lot thinner in texture than the Maybelline Fit Me. I don't love the texture of this one as much, but I know a lot of people like a really thin consistency with their powder. I will say this is going to be best suited for oily skin or summer, hot heat, and high humidity climates. For dry skin, I don't recommend this one. So if you're dry, just skip ahead. But if you're oily and you want something to lock in your makeup, they only make one shade. It's the shade Banana. So this is going to be ideal for brightening the T-zone, brightening the under eyes. However, I have used this with a small fluffy brush to just pick up excess oil and to reduce shine throughout the day. So you can use it for that. The texture of this is very, very finely milled. Very, very light. It's going to turn into like that, turns into dust basically. It turns into all of nothing. It's like baby powder, but even lighter. So not my favorite texture, but definitely a really good product that they launched that I want to call out, because if this sounds like something you'd want, I think you'll really like it. To finish up my makeup look before we dive into the eyes, I want to put on a classic Maybelline powder blush. This is the Maybelline Fit Me powder blushes. These are a really nice, simple formulation powder blush. So if you want something that's buildable, easy to layer on, easy to apply without too much high intensity pigment all at once where you have a difficult time applying it, then this is definitely a good one to check out. It's not my holy grail at the drugstore. It's a nice formulation that I want to finish my makeup with, basically. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't knock my socks off, but it is a nice product from Maybelline that I want to feature in this video. So this is the shade 15. We're going to apply this backside of my N17, dip into it, and it's just a nice everyday color. So we'll pop this on top. We'll get a really soft blush, and then we'll move on to the eyes. It actually has a slight amount of like luminosity to it. So it's not flat, really pretty. It's simple. Is it the best drugstore blush on the market? No, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's a very nice formulation. I'm gonna bring this up to my temple just to fill in this area a bit. Across my nose, because you know I love blush across my nose. And that is the Maybelline Fit Me powder blush in the shade 15. Super pretty. Okay, our base makeup is done. We're bronzed, we're powdered, we're prepped on the eyes, we're ready to take on eyeshadow. And like I mentioned, I'm bringing back something like an oldie but a goodie. I tried these many years ago. I've had multiple shades in this formulation, and I think they're really great. I think they're really, really well done, and I think they're very convenient for travel. They remind me a lot of the Kaja Beauty bento boxes. If you don't know, let me show you. They remind me of these little cute bento boxes from Kaja. I believe, I don't know if they're discontinuing these. I haven't really heard anyone talk about them in a while. Great formulation. You get 3 shadows stacked into one. This is so similar, and they did a really good job of these formulas. Like, these formulas are, I think, the best Maybelline powder eyeshadows. The other ones I don't like. I think they're chalky, they're too dry. This one is the one to get. So if you're shopping for powder eyeshadow from Maybelline or from the drugstore, don't get any of the others. Honestly, you only want to get the shadow blocks. These are the best formulations that money can get you at the drugstore from Maybelline. So this one is my favorite. I'll make sure I leave this one linked below, of course, but you get a nice white creamy base on the top. In the middle, you get a really beautiful, very well done shimmer, might I add. And the bottom is going to have your nice mid-tone for the crease. We're going to start with this mid-tone. I'm going to show you what this bad boy from the drugstore looks like on. Going to grab a N13 brush with BK Beauty, dip into the bottom shade, which is the more matte mid-tone. And we're going to use this, of course, to just add some depth and dimension to the crease. Now with this formula in particular, you get very, very minimal fallout. The formula is just very blendable, very much like a high-end eyeshadow. You would not think these are drugstore when you're applying them and when you're wearing them, but it's just this one. Like, the block one is the best one in my opinion. So that's why we're here, for the best of Maybelline. And this one is just, don't sleep on this one. And it's kind of nice to have just 3 eyeshadows in one little compact. Like I mentioned, for travel, for minimal looks, for running to the office, doing your makeup really quickly, something like this is gonna be nice and easy. It's 3 shadows that go well together, takes the guesswork out of it. You're not using a big eyeshadow palette where they could be a little bit more intimidating. This is just quick and easy. They do have other colors to choose from, like I mentioned, but this one's my favorite by far. Look how pretty that blend is. It's just nothing wrong with it. I'm gonna build it up a bit, blend it out. I'm gonna switch to a different brush. I'm gonna grab my N12 brush, dip back into that same shadow, and we're gonna use this to, of course, run this along the bottom lash line just to get a nice cohesive look with my eyes. It's so pretty. Now switching to a BK Beauty 207 brush, we're gonna flip to the top layer, take that light color, and we'll use this all in the tear duct to brighten the eye. Can we talk about that pigment? It's stunning. Nothing wrong with this formula. Now for the middle shade that's shimmery, I'm actually gonna use this with my fingertips. So I'm gonna take my fingertip and just swipe into this beautiful, very soft shimmer shade. Like, look how gorgeous that is. That looks so high-end. We're gonna swipe this onto the eyelid for a quick, very flattering eye makeup look. Or you could just do one and done, put this all over, call it a day. It's so good. So that is what I think is the best eyeshadow formula from Maybelline. The shadow blocks are the ones to get, but this shade, oh, is so pretty. Now, honorable mention, and I feel like this is being discontinued because I had a really hard time picking up another shade of it. Mine is really old at this point. I need to pick up a new one. It's definitely expired. But I love this product if you're looking for a really great performance, like high performance eyeshadow primer for your eyes in a simple tone. I feel like they're discontinuing it, so correct me if I'm wrong, Maybelline, but the Maybelline Color Tattoo, this is a eye base. So it's a matte eye base. Mine has definitely seen better days. Like mine is very old at this point. I definitely need a new one, and I could not find it in store, and I'm not seeing it online. So I don't know if they're phasing it out, if they're discontinuing it, but if they are, get it while you can, because this is a great eyeshadow base from the drugstore. Now, I love a good shadow stick, but it has to be a really good eyeshadow stick. And I've always said in the past that the Milani shadow sticks are, I think, the best at the drugstore, like that are low cost, high performing, look just like high end ones too. But honestly, these are also really great, and they're 100% an honorable mention that I have to call out because it wouldn't be fair if I didn't. Do I use these that often? No, I don't, but they are really great formulations, just as good as the Milani, and they have a really cool color range as well, even ranging from a solid black formula. So if you're using a base, or if you need a base for a black smoky eye or any kind of smoky eye, this is a really great one that's going to be long wearing and just really grip to your eyelids as well. So these are really high performance, really long wearing. I just don't use them that often, so I wanted to call them out just so you know that they're there and they're available, and they're really beautiful. I have to show you what these look like on though, so I'm going to swatch them on my hand since I already have my eye makeup on. This is the shade I Am Shining, and what this is going to be is a really beautiful tear duct highlight. So pop that in the tear duct of your eyes. It's gleaming, it's glistening, it's long wearing, and it's beautiful. Like, so Maybelline just does a really great job with their color tattoo. And anything color tattoo also I want to call out is going to be long wearing, high performance, and just something to definitely check out from Maybelline. And this one is gorgeous. So gorgeous. This is the shade I Am Courageous, and it is quite beautiful. It's more of like a chunkier, shimmering glitter. Definitely reminds me of the Half Magic shadow sticks that I love, the sparkle sticks, but look how beautiful it is. Super stunning. I'll make sure I link all these below as well. They're there if you need them. They're really high performance, and they're definitely worth checking out from Maybelline. The next three categories coming up are my favorites from Maybelline, okay? Like, I love the foundation, I love that powder, but these are like really fun products I'm going to talk about, and really, like, I buy them all the time. I buy multiples of them. I cannot get enough of these products. So we're going to start first with eyeliner to complete my eye makeup look. And for that, if you have not tried the Tattoo Studio liners, these are a gel pencil eyeliner. You are so severely missing out on a perfect drugstore, long wearing, easy to blend out, easy to apply, very creamy, pigmented formula for the drugstore. This is the one to get. Like, this is the holy grail of holy grails. As far as eyeliners at the drugstore, it's one of my all-time favorites from the drugstore. So across all the brands. I lost my black one. I don't know where it is. I could not find it. I have a backup of my brown. That's how much I use my brown. My favorite shade is Bold Brown. It's this one right here. And another one that is absolutely one to get is Smooth Walnut. So if you want like a lighter brown, like a softer brown, if you want something that's less intense, Smooth Walnut is so gorgeous. So let me show you what Smooth Walnut looks like. I'm going to apply this to my waterline, and let's get this party started, okay? So Smooth Walnut, I'm going to line the eyes with this beauty. Creamy, glides on, there's no tugging, high impact, high color payoff, but once they're on, they're really long lasting, which is amazing. So now I'm going to apply the Smooth Walnut to the top lash line. You will not find a better drugstore eyeliner. This one's just a holy grail. Now keep in mind, they're long wearing, so once they start to dry down, they're meant to stay put. So if you want to blend out, if you want to smudge out, you need to do that before you start the other eye. So for that reason, I'm going to grab my N11 brush. I'm going to drag this in and out to smudge out that line. We'll repeat on this side. Oh, this is so good. Same thing, we're gonna blend this out just slightly. So you've seen me talk about the Tattoo Studio eyeliners, the gel eyeliners, many times, and I've used them so many times in the past. And you've seen me talk about their liquid liners as well. The Tattoo Studio liquid liner in black and brown is a very nice option. However, this one is my favorite liquid liner from Maybelline. I think it's their best one. It's the Master Precise. The applicator on this one is a long sponge tip. So you just get a really even coating. It's just really user-friendly in my opinion. It's not a messy liquid liner formula, but the brush tip, like this little sponge tip, is just, it just makes it so easy to apply this and get a nice crisp straight line. The other one, the Tattoo Studio, has a actual traditional brush applicator, which is not my personal favorite, which is why I say to get the Master Precise over the other one. Both are great options. It's going to come down more to what you prefer most. I just find this one to be much easier. full impact, really, really long wearing. And I absolutely love this more warm brown shade. It's just gorgeous. I'll leave this one linked. I think this one's the best liquid liner from Maybelline by far. So you've seen me talk about those two eyeliners before. You've seen me show them many, many times in the past. I've worn them and used them in so many tutorials. But did you know that Maybelline also has a super skinny Master Precise? This is going to be a gel eyeliner that's going to be ideal for tight lining. So let me show you how to use this bad boy. It's a very small little petite pencil, great for getting into small eyes, hooded eyes, just to get in and tightline that small area. This will fit in there perfectly. It glides on really smooth and really creamy, so you don't have to tug back and forth. But let me show you how magical this one is. It is such a great eyeliner from Maybelline that nobody talks about. So I got the dark brown shade. You're going to just look into your mirror and run this back and forth to tightline any tight areas. So look at how impactful that was, just applying it in that inner corner. This is a great way to connect your eyeliner up top. So if you have semi-hooded eyes and you don't want to go all the way in with your eyeliner, but you want that to flow and connect, get a skinny little micro pencil like this one and game over. It'll look like a pro did your eyeliner every single time. So now I'm going to tightline the top all across the lash line. I like to look in opposite directions to give my eyes a break. So same thing, if I'm lining the outer corner of the tight line, I'll look to the opposite side, which makes it so much easier to get into such a tiny little place that could be very, very hard to get used to. So this pencil, the micro skinny, is just such a great formulation. I don't know why people don't talk about this enough or buy it. I need to like shout this out to the roof. It's like one of the best at the drugstore for tight lining. Okay, eyeliner is done. We've tight lined, we've done all of those things, and it wouldn't be right if we didn't top this with mascara. And it's funny to say this because Maybelline actually has some of my favorite mascaras as well as some of my least favorite mascaras. The least favorite one that I'm talking about is one that you're gonna be probably up in arms and so mad at me for saying this, but I feel very strongly about this. I think that Great Lash, you know what I'm talking about, the pink and green one, we'll pop it right here on the screen. The Great Lash mascara is my least favorite and probably the worst mascara on the market. I'm sorry, I said what I said. Please don't come for me. That is just my opinion. I've used that mascara for a million years. It was like my starter mascara, I will put it that way. And it's good for wetting your feet in the mascara world. When I first started wearing eye makeup, that was the only mascara that my mom bought me. And then I continued to buy it because I thought that was like the one to get. You know, it was like marketed as like Great Lash, like it was gonna give you great lashes. No. This gave me 4 lashes clumped together, and it just is not it. Mascara has come so far, so long, and so far since when I first started wearing it a million years ago. So skip that one, leave it at home. Let's put it to bed. We don't need it anymore, and it's just not. It's not the one to get. There's so many better ones. I'm about to show you them just now, but I want to talk about another OG. So when I started buying more makeup and really dive into makeup and really becoming unbelievably passionate about makeup and obsessed with it, borderline, to be quite honest, mascara was like one of those things that had a chokehold on me. And I really hate that saying, but it's the best way to describe how I felt about mascara. Mascara was just, I couldn't stop thinking about it and obsessing over it because I loved that it gave me like the instant confidence boost that I wanted with makeup and that I desperately needed when I first started wearing makeup. Mascara was it, okay? Eyeliner and mascara, those are the two things I had to have. Someone should have grabbed my hand and told me, girl, you need some eyebrows, but nobody did, so I just focused on my lashes instead. One of the ones I loved after I graduated from Great Lash, one of the ones I bought, and I bought it specifically because I thought the packaging was so sleek and like so cool and so interesting. So I bought it again recently to test it out to see if it still holds up. Sadly, it doesn't hold up. The one I'm talking about is the Maybelline Lash Stiletto. Do you remember this one? It was supposed to look like, I'm assuming, a red bottom, you know, stiletto heel. You know what I'm talking about, like the Louboutins. I never had a pair. I don't desire to have a pair. My sister had a pair and I was jealous of her, but then I always knew like they just weren't for me. They didn't fit my style. But this reminded me of that, and I think that's exactly what they were going for with this marketing. The style of this, the formula, it just doesn't hold up anymore, and it just did a whole lot of nothing to my lashes. So I'm very sad to say this because I bought it for pure nostalgic reasons. But it goes to show you, along with like brow products that I talked about previously that are offered from Maybelline, it goes to show you how far and how long we've come with drugstore formulations and just makeup formulations in general. Like drugstore or high-end makeup in general has come so far. It's shocking. It's really hard to get bad products these days because they're really well done. And they've come such a long way. So this is a really prime example. Like, this was once one of the best ones out there in my opinion, and I loved it. Now you don't need it, and it's just one to skip. So the ones I love the most from Maybelline are actually these two bad boys right here. The Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High. This is the best one to get from Maybelline, hands down. This is a cult classic at this point. This one has a huge, massive following of people that love it. There's all kinds of different colors now, ranging from green, purple, even silver, blue. There's so many. There's also waterproof, there's brown. Currently, I'm using the black brown formula in my Pro Kit, as well as the waterproof and as well as the black formula in my Pro Kit as well. So this has become my go-to for my Pro Kit. It kicked out my L'Oreal Voluminous, and we're just trying something new, and I'm loving it. It's that good. It's that good that I put in my professional makeup kit. So this one is the one to get, hands down. A newer favorite that I've loved and I've been loving is the Maybelline Firework Lash Sensational. I love this one, and I really particularly love the wand on it. It's a little bit like thicker, but it has shorter bristles, so I find that it's really easy to control this without making a big mess. So if you have small eyes, deep set eyes, or hooded eyes, this is a really nice formula where you could still get in there and manage a nice dramatic effect to your lashes without making a huge mess. I'll show you the wand on the Sky High just in case you haven't seen it. It's my kind of wand. This is my favorite kind of wand, where it's tapered at the end. It's plastic. The bristles are short, so again, you have a lot more control, and you could really wiggle it in there and get the root of your lashes really well. So with this one, this is the one to get if you're going to get one from Maybelline. And the newest one that I'm testing out, but my thoughts are this is not the one to get. It's nice. I like it. It just doesn't come close to these two. It's very, very nice. It will give you beautiful lashes. I'm going to continue to wear it. You'll continue to see me use it till it's run out, because I like to get my money's worth here on this channel. So it's a nice formula. It's just borderline too thick. Like, it's borderline a little messy. So for that reason, these two just are the holy grails at Maybelline. So for that reason, also, I'm going to be using one of these for this eye makeup look today, because we're going to keep it classic. We're going to keep it timeless, and we're going to keep it true to what I think is the best at Maybelline. So for that reason, let's pop on the Lash Sensational Sky High. The best drugstore mascara from Maybelline by far. So let's get in there and coat these bad boys. They also make this, by the way, I've not tried it, so I can't tell you how it works, but they make this formula in a lash primer, something I want to pick up very soon. So if you've tried it and you could recommend it or not, if you don't like it, if you've tried it and you had a bad experience, if you tried it and you have thoughts, I would love it if you left it in the comments below, because I haven't heard much talk about it. There's a reason why this one is the most popular by far. It gives you everything you need: curl, lift, great separation, really beautiful volume, beautiful length. It's just a classic. I mean, wow. Talk about impact. Jeez. The dark brown, by the way, I wanted to call out, is a really beautiful dark brown formula. I always keep a dark brown formula in my Pro Kit for my really light eye clients or light eye models, or if the look is just really natural and I just want something on their eyes without it being like a black mascara. You just have to have a brown mascara in your kit. If you're a makeup artist, it just comes in handy all the time. Oh, so good. And I did not pre-curl my lashes before filming, so all the curl and all the lift that you're seeing is just from the formula. There's no way you could tell me that Great Lash or even Lash Stiletto will give you this kind of effect. This is just high impact. I don't even need to go in with a second coat, because that one coat is so thick. It's so dramatic. It's all I need to complete my eye makeup, and I'm just a great one. You have to get this one. This is the best at Maybelline. Guess what time it is? We only have 2 other category of products to pop on my face. They're the best at Maybelline. One is going to be lips. We're going to dive into lips right now. And before I put all the beautiful lip products that I love and recommend all the time from Maybelline on my lips, it wouldn't be right if I called out another OG classic. And I want to say this is like the original of tinted lip balms. Before lip balms were even a trend, before every single brand on earth and their grandma's brand and their father's brand came out with lip balms, Maybelline did it. Maybelline had the baby lips. Do you remember baby lips? Well, I bought it for nostalgic reasons to try it out to see if it's still really good and holds up. And guess what? It's phenomenal. Baby lips is like heaven on my lips. So I now keep baby lips by, it's like my junk bin of like car keys and house keys and mail, and you know, like it's like that catch-all that we all have in our house. Like whether you admit it or not, we all have like that bin of just junk sitting in a corner of our house. I keep this now in that bin because when my lips are dry, and I'm randomly running out the door to do whatever it is I'm doing, like walk my dogs, this is what I throw on my lips, and it's still an OG. It's still the GOAT of drugstore lip balms. So if you have not tried Baby Lips from Maybelline, this one is my favorite. I'll leave it linked because it's just still that good. But we're gonna wipe off Baby Lips, even though it pains me to do so, because we got some lip liners to do, we got some lipsticks, we got some balm glosses to complete this look. So let's get into that. All right, I'm gonna lightly powder my lips with whatever's left over because they were just wet from that makeup wipe. And now let me talk to you about the best long-wearing, literally budge-proof, foolproof, eat-proof, drink-proof lip liners that are available at the drugstore, or just available, period. Like, if you have not tried the Maybelline Lifter liners, are you kidding me? You're missing out on the best formula at the drugstore by far. Now, I love my NYX lip liners, but they're not as long-wearing as these. These are quite literally, you could jump in a pool and these will stay on your lips. My favorite color of all time from the Maybelline Lifter liners has got to be On It. I use On It all the time. I even have another On It in one of my purses because that's how much I use it. But other shades are so gorgeous are Player, Let's Bounce. Line Leader is a favorite of mine too. That's also in a purse that's in the other room. I love them so much. I'll leave all my favorites linked below, but there's really not a bad color in the bunch. I love all the earth tones, and I love too that they've launched so many beautiful, wearable, must-have earth tone lip liners. Like, they actually launch colors that we need, which is a hard thing for drugstores. Even with NYX, they have some really far out there colors. They're just not that useful. The Lifter liners come in useful shades that look flattering on everyone. So whatever your skin tone is, there's gonna be a Lifter liner shade that's gonna be perfect for you. My favorite personally is the shade On It. So if you're looking for a good neutral nude lip liner, if you're my skin tone, a little bit lighter, a little bit deeper, this is the one to get. So I'm gonna line my lips with this perfect lip liner formula from the drugstore. So these are gonna go on creamy. They glide on like butter. Do you see that? No tugging, no dryness, no skipping. The formula is just gel-like, kind of like their eyeliners, honestly. So they glide on super easy, but once they dry down, and they do dry down, they're not gonna feel dry. They're not gonna feel crusty and gross on your lips. They're just gonna stay put. Like, quite literally, they're not gonna move. You could put a lip gloss on top of these. That lip liner is still gonna stay. The gloss will be gone. But how good is On It? It's just the best shade. On It, Line Leader. Those are my two favorites. It's just stunning. And you'll see it's going to dry down and be virtually budge proof. Next up, when it comes to must-haves for your lips that Maybelline has to offer, and what is considered, in my opinion, the best of the best, they've had many different long-wear liquid lipstick formulas on the market. They also have a classic bullet twist-up lipstick. I'm not the biggest fan of those. They're fine. But when I think of the best of Maybelline and what they have to offer, the Maybelline, vinyl liquid lipsticks, the vinyl inks. These are unreal and unmatched in my opinion. This is the most unique liquid lipstick formula on the market because it goes on very wet, very much like a liquid lipstick. But when it dries down, a thin layer is all you need. And that thin layer will feel like nothing on your lips. They're virtually weightless. They're not thick, crusty. They're not going to leave you feeling like you have crypt keeper lips, which is a big problem and a big issue with a lot of liquid lipstick formulas or long-wear liquid formulas because they look crusty and dry on your lips. So unless you have like the most perfectly hydrated lips, they're going to do you dirty. These don't do you dirty. These are some of the best out there. I love this formulation. They're very popular, so they're very hard to get. Some of the shades, they're usually sold out. In my opinion, the best one to go with On It is the shade Cheeky. I've gone through a million of these cheeky shades. I think it's such a classic, beautiful, wearable, nude, very flattering nude shade. So I'm gonna put Cheeky on top of my lips and then I'll swatch the other ones just so you could see what they look like in case you're curious. But honestly, there's really not a bad one in the mix. They even make a really beautiful bright red. They make a beautiful berry. There's beautiful pinks. I'm just such a neutral girl and I love the shade Cheeky. So Cheeky, you want to apply it all over a thin layer. And I do want to call out, and I should have mentioned this prior to putting that on, you want to make sure you shake these, okay? They're very watery, they're very liquidy. So make sure you shake the formula up before you just did what I did. The doe foot is very nice and controllable. It's not too big where it's going to be goopy, but you want to apply a thin coat all over, and they really do dry down and give you like a vinyl look, hence the name. Obviously they don't dry down to be an intense matte finish. They look more like a vinyl does on your lips. Like they look like a true vinyl finish. Look how gorgeous Cheeky is. Cheeky is that girl. Like if you like a nude lip or a neutral nude lip, you gotta get Cheeky. And just to show you the other colors, 40 Witty is gonna be a really beautiful deep berry mauve. Great if you have a deeper complexion and you want a beautiful wearable mauve tone. This is so stunning. And the shade 120 Punchy is going to be a deeper version of Cheeky. So if you have a deeper skin tone, and let me actually show you Cheeky next to it to compare the two. So that's Cheeky. This is Punchy. So if you're watching this at home and you need something deeper than what I have on my lips, Punchy is the way to go to bump it up a tone. So hands down, the best of what Maybelline has to offer in terms of a liquid lipstick. These are going to be great on everyone, even if you have dry lips, mature lips, it doesn't matter. Don't be afraid of these. I know they're a liquid lipstick and they could be a little bit more intimidating, but they absolutely crush this formula and it's so worth checking out. Okay, now the last product I want to talk about for the lips is a gloss that is holy grail status. Whether it's drugstore, high-end, it doesn't matter. This is one of the best lip gloss formulas I've ever tried. It's the Maybelline Lifter glosses. Equally as iconic in my opinion as the lip vinyls, the Superstay vinyl inks, equally loved. These are just the ones to get at the drugstore. They're so good. They're a thicker gloss, very long wearing. They're not gross and sticky. They just feel really, really nice on your lips. They have amazing shades to choose from. These are just some of my 3 favorites. There's a crystally one, a nice milky, creamy nude, and the shade Stone is a nude favorite of mine as well. But I'm going to put on this milky nude one. This is just the shade O2 Ice. So O2 Ice. And if you have not tried these, I highly recommend you try them out. They're the best formula glosses that Maybelline has to offer. So these are formulated with hyaluronic acid. So they're going to give you a really great amount of hydration and a conditioning quality. Kind of like a lip balm or a lip oil. These are going to feel like that, but in a gloss form. So no stickiness, no grossness to them. These do have a slight fragrance to them, but it's very mild in my opinion. And the way these look on your lips is just so absolutely gorgeous. So that is the Lifter Gloss, a cult classic, honestly, that Maybelline has to offer. Everyone loves them and for good reason. So if you have not tried the Lifter glosses, once you do, you'll never go back. Which is why I was so excited when I stumbled upon, and I didn't even know they had these, but they have the Lifter Plump glosses. This one in particular has been in my purse nonstop. I've been using this constantly. It's such a great lip plumper. Very spicy, but definitely bearable. You could definitely get through it. You'll want to look for the one that says plump and has a chili pepper on it. So if you want a plumping effect and not just a moisturizing effect that the Lifter gloss gives you, get the plump one and you will be hooked. So one of my favorite shades that they have is Blush Blaze. Now I'm actually just going to put a little bit on top just because why not? It's a really nice color and just gives me such a great, I love the feeling of these. It's a great plumping gloss that doesn't burn, but it will get the job done and you will definitely see an enhancement in your lips if you wear these. Look at that color too. It's so pretty. Now, would you believe it if I told you I had one last product to put on my face from Maybelline? It's a newer product, very new to me. However, I've been using it and testing it out for the last month or so, probably a little bit longer at this point. I tested it out and I bought it specifically to see if it was going to be waterproofing and great for like longevity with my makeup. I could tell you it actually is. The only complaint I have about this product is I don't like the sprayer. The sprayer is a little intense and it can be a little finicky. So just something to call out. I wish they would improve the sprayer, like the nozzle. However, this will make your makeup last. It's a great formula setting spray at the drugstore and great for locking in your makeup for an all-day wear. Even when it's hot, humid outside, it's going to keep you and your makeup locked in place. The Maybelline Lasting Fix up to 16-hour wear. It's a matte finish. So if you don't want glow and you don't want additional glow to your skin, especially in the summertime months, you want to get a matte setting spray. And this one is truly matte and so good for oily skin. So I'm going to shake this bad boy up. Let's get the hair out of the way. Let's do a test spray because the nozzle does get a little funky like I mentioned. Now let's set this makeup into place, and this is going to be the full face of the best of Maybelline. And I love this makeup look so much. So if you've ever wondered what a full face of the best of what Maybelline has to offer looks like, this is it. And it's giving YSL, it's giving Dior, it's giving Charlotte Tilbury, it's giving all those high-end brands at a much more affordable price. So if you want a high-end look, try these products out from Maybelline. These are what I think are the best that Maybelline has to offer. And I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Now, I know you like this series, so please request in the comments below what brand you want to see a best of next. I am all ears. You all highly requested Maybelline, so I cannot wait to see which brand you come up with next. Drop in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts either way. And if you try any of my favorites and the best of Maybelline, drop that in the comments below as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, I would love to see you in future videos. And I'd love to see you in the next best of one brand video. So subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you soon. Bye.